Good morning, campers. Wow, it is good to be back on the road again. It has been almost a year. Actually, it's been over a year since we've been able to take the coach out. COVID restrictions being what they were, we just stayed home, worked on the house, and now we've both been vaccinated. We feel more comfortable about heading out. There's still a lot of restrictions going on, but we are taking a little trip down the coast right now. You can see behind me. Sorry for the wind. Yeah, guess what? We're at a beach. This is Nesquin, Oregon. So we're gonna go down the Oregon coast. I've taken up a new hobby. I'm gonna give it a try. So I am on the beach. Let me show you here. Rocks. Yep, that's right. I'm gonna try to paint rocks, and I'm gonna leave them around when they're painted and see if people will pick them up and move them. So anyway, good to be back on the road. Stay tuned.
You should really think about letting your wife have this dinosaur egg because she deserves it.
Okay, well, I'll take that under consideration.
Okay, great. Because I think like it might change your life, might change her life.
Oh, it's a lucky rock?
A lucky Oregon coast, Lincoln City dinosaur egg right here.
Awesome.
So don't forget that.
You know, it's not really about the type of RV that you're traveling in. It's all about the adventure. And you can see here, This is my view for the next couple of days. Right down here on the river. And it doesn't matter what kind of RV you have. I've got a big one, but the people with the small RVs are enjoying this river just as much as I am. So it's all about just getting out and taking the adventure and seeing the country. So if you've ever thought about doing something like this, I highly recommend it. Unfortunately, with COVID, the pool here is closed, as I'm sure a lot of buildings are. I mean, they're doing it for our own safety, and you need to make reservations. And so you can sign up for 1-hour time slots, and they open up the list at 9 a.m. And so if you figure that there's 8 hours in a day that this pool's open, that's 8 people that can use this pool in a day, or 8 families, I suppose. So I'll see if I can sign up. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to make it though. Okay, here are the rocks I'm going to use for rock painting. We found these on the beach. There's Barb's dinosaur egg. I'm not going to paint that, but I'm going to try some other things with these. I'm not real artistic. I mean, I think I can paint colors on rocks and maybe make patterns. Maybe that'll be a tree. I don't know. That already looks like a pickle. So we'll give it a try. Now, to enjoy yourself in a resort, you certainly don't need one of those. There are lots of different kinds of rigs that people travel in and have a great time in. Now, I'm going to just show you some of the rigs as we go through this next few weeks of travel, just so you can kind of see the types of rigs that people are traveling in. That's about the size of the trailer we started with, but we didn't have a slide, so that's pretty cool. We met Karen today. She's in this rig here, and they've been staying in this park for about a year. Now this is awesome. If you don't want to spend the night in a tent on the ground, this looks like a great option. I can see they're watching TV inside there, but that will certainly get you into any park. And Class A, this is a diesel Class A that comes in all different vintages. Now this looks like a pretty sweet setup, but these people are not really taking advantage of the adventure. They're just in one spot, parked. Although, it is a nice spot. And you can certainly tell who the long-term residents are. Some classic coaches just never go out of style. Yep, we made our reservation, so we got the pool and the hot tub for an hour. All to ourselves. Now this is what I call camping. One of the problems with a big rig is that you really have to pay attention to your corners. This corner here is the passenger side rear corner, which is the hardest to see. And you should really wait until your wife is behind you with the radio backing you up before you back up. I didn't do that. And so what happened is I backed into a fence, and fortunately this RV park does not cement in their fence posts, but I did knock them over, put a pretty good scratch down the side of the coach. But now what I'm doing is I'm trying to rub out at least the transfer of paint. This paint job is Sikkens paint, which is a very soft paint, so I have to be careful not to even scratch it further, but I think even if I scratch it further, it's going to look better than it does with all this white paint on it. So what I'm using is I've got this turtle wax rubbing compound. So I bought these applicators that I thought would fit this, so I could use this to rub it out. This is a 6-inch buffer, and these are supposed to fit on here, and it said 6-inch applicator pads, but they don't fit. It's the wrong thing. And they had these in the store right underneath these things, so I thought, hey, they would fit, but they don't. So I'm not using this. I'm using my elbow power for this. So I'm going to continue to buff this out and see how it goes. This is really slow going, and I'm having to press pretty hard to try to get these out. I think some of these scratches went too deep, and so I'm not going to be able to get them out. I might be able to get out some of the white color out of here, which will still look better. Looks like we're taking a trip down to the factory to Precision Paint and having to repaint some of this. This rubbing compound is a very harsh abrasive, and it did take off like some of the sheen off the paint. It looks better than the white transfer of paint on here, but you can see some dull spots where I put the rubbing compound on. Well, you know what? The reflection is so great, you can't really see it. You can see a little bit here. So here's the regular color. Here's where the rubbing compound was. And you can see it here too. So you do have to be careful in putting this stuff on, but it is looking better. Still more work to do. Now with my coach, they also gave me some touch-up paint. So when you buy the coach, they gave you like little 2-ounce bottles of touch-up paint. So I'm thinking I might give that a try on some of these white spots here. I'll show you here. I can't quite get those out. And so, touch-up paint. Maybe. We'll see if that's going to work or not. This place is funny because you do have visitors here, and they are all over the place. See how close I can get. Well, this is my third time here to the Pismo Beach dunes, and I've never made it all the way over to the beach. Mainly because I've only been here for 1 or 2 nights, and we're here for over a week this time. So I'm going to walk over to the beach and see if I can make it. I'm guessing that the total distance is over a mile, but then you've got to go up and down over dunes, and that makes it a little bit further and a little bit harder. But never done it. Let's give it a try. Well, I'm getting closer to the beach. Just have to find the right path through here to get there. I think I'm gonna make it. Oh boy, this is quite a workout. That's where I came from. I made it all this way, only to find a big fence that goes all the way down. So I guess they don't want you in the dunes, but this is where I came from. I think I can get through right there though. Oh, that was quite a walk. Took us a while to get here. I'm not sure of my path back, other than if I keep the ocean to my back, I think I'll finally make it. It's gonna be just as hard going back. But hey, at least we made it to the beach. And I should have known there wouldn't be a rock on this beach. It is all sand as far as you can see. It looks like there's a lot of people who can drive down here. And then right over here, they're renting, looks like ATVs. And I think they have horses down there too, so you go horseback riding if you want. Okay, I get the fence now. They don't want anybody riding their motorcycles or other ATVs up here. But I'm gonna head back now. One thing I learned a long time ago when I was doing rescue work in backcountry is every once in a while you have to stop, take a look at where you are, and look over your shoulder so you know where you've been. And I did that. And because I did that, I know that I need to go between those two mountains over there. That's the way I came through there, and that's the way I'm going back. So it's always a good idea to make sure you look over your shoulder when you're going somewhere. That's the way. Another thing I did to mark my trail is I just broke a branch off and stuck it in the sand so that when I came back to it, I know I was on the right track. It was really unnecessary here because I have these two huge landmarks to shoot for, so I didn't really need that. But it's just another way to mark the trail so you know you're on the correct way back. I mean, there's lots of different ways I could go back, but some of them are harder than others. They go down steeper dunes, and it's just not as nice of a trail back to where we're going. And you can see here, if I went down that direction into that valley, there's a huge dune up here that I'd have to climb. And so I don't want to do that. So my path is going to lead me along the ridge here. And I'm going to try to stay on top of the ridge as much as I can to avoid going down into those valleys. Well, I found my old footprints, and it is going uphill. I should have followed the dog. She took a much easier route. She knows a better route than I do. Oh well, here we go, hiking uphill. Well, we made it. There's our campground. So, pretty much on track. I did notice that as I was walking, not paying attention, I was walking off to my left, and after a little while, I found my footprints, and they're about 200 feet away from me on my right. So, I thought I was walking a straight line, but I wasn't. I was walking left. Now I'm left-handed, so I'm wondering if that's normal, that you walk the direction of your dominant hand. But we made it back. I just have to walk down there now and we'll be done. But downhill's a lot easier. I did find out that walking along the ridgeline is the easiest way to travel. And I'm sure that's why you see in all the movies, the camels and their jockeys or whatever, the riders of the camels are always walking along the ridgelines, because that's where the sand is the firmest and easiest to walk. If you want to stop by a good place for breakfast in Pismo Beach, here you go. Rock and Roll Diner inside a train car. It was cute and the food was good. People just really travel in a little bit of everything. Well, it's better in a tent. And whatever you do, don't forget the toys. Yep, this is another rig that does not move. Also set up for full-time living. Nice little yard with a deck. So it doesn't really matter what kind of rig that you decide to set off in your adventure, as long as it's one that's comfortable for you. I do have some hints and tips that I can provide later on, the things that were important for me when choosing my rig, but that doesn't mean it's going to be important for you. I guess the overall advice is just to go out there and do it. Well, there you have it. So you've worked hard, you might as well go out and play and enjoy the adventure. It really doesn't matter, like I said, what you use to enjoy your adventure in, so just get out there and do it. So I'll talk to you later, see you next time. Be sure to subscribe, and on my next video, I'm going to talk about hobbies on the road and what we do to keep ourselves entertained.
Service.